Hi witches, so today I wanted to give you a bit of a review on the Telluric Tarot, which I have just received. So the Telluric Tarot was a Kickstarter deck by a creator called Lunaria Gold, and this deck was originally supposed to be shipped in November of 2019. It is now the middle of July 2020. Of course, COVID happened, but I wanted to do a bit of a review because I wanted to vent. So I'm just going to go through the good parts about this deck and the not so good parts about this deck. So first of all, the deck comes in this really colourful, big, sturdy box. It's bigger than the size of the deck. It's meant to house the cards and the book. So my first issue with the box is there are no thumb holes. It is very hard to take the lid off the box. Second issue is, so it has one of those cardboard inserts for the cards to go in. However, something about this particular cardboard insert, it rips really easily. You can already see mine is ripped in all of the corners. And I got a good one. If you look at some other people's unboxing videos, this entire insert is just like shredded to pieces. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just the production company, but they really did not do a good job with this insert. And I mean, the box is nice and sturdy. I could use this to store other things in, but just because of its size, I wouldn't be using it to store the deck in. So along with the cards, you also get the guidebook, which is a nice big full color guidebook with the images of the cards on one entire page and then information on this side, including reversed meanings. So there's that. The book itself feels really good quality. I have no issues with the book aside from one little thing, which I'll talk about when I show you the cards. But then I think they realized that some people weren't going to use the box for the cards, so they give you this bag. However, this bag is just awful. It almost feels like it's paper. It's this horrible fabric. I don't know the name of it, but I actually have a sensory aversion to it. Like just touching it is just, hate it. So quite honestly, I'm probably going to throw this in the bin. The other thing is the size of the cards. Like, it's way too big for the actual deck. So I'm not quite sure what they were thinking with that. But yeah, this bag is just awful. They do give you a nice little art print with a thank you on the back, so that's nice. And then let's talk about the deck. So I'm going to show you the major arcana first. So the deck itself, it's a 83 card tarot deck because there are some extra cards in there. The cardstock itself, it's quite glossy. Not sure if you can see too well on that one. You can really see on the black side, it's very glossy. Because of that, it is a fingerprint magnet. It also has that super glossy gold gilding that tends to flake off. I did notice some other people said they had no issue with the gilding. I've already got the gilding flaking off. It also looks like there's like scratches in my gilding. This is why I don't like the shiny gold gilding, because I just find that it shows every little imperfection. Yeah, the cards are already fingerprint magnets, but something else as well. It's a bit hard to see. Not sure if you can see too well, but there are little black dots over the cards, which, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it's a little bit frustrating. So I just feel like the actual production quality of this deck is just not what I was expecting, particularly given that the main reason why it wasn't printed in November like it originally was supposed to be was because the creator of the deck decided to change companies to find a somewhere else that could produce it to be a higher quality, particularly because of the gold gilding. But I'm not impressed with the quality of this deck. Let's put it that way. The cardstock, it's quite thin. It's not the thinnest cardstock I've used, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't like this cardstock. It reminds me of low Scarabeo cardstock, and I can't stand low Scarabeo cardstock. Basically, if I get a low Scarabeo deck, I have to give it away because it's just terrible to try and work with no matter how pretty the art is. So there's that. Look, it has like the numerals for the cards. And look, it is a true tarot deck. It follows the same style as a traditional tarot deck. So, for example, 0 is the card for the Fool. You know, all of those kinds of things. So, and it does actually reference that in the guidebook. It doesn't specifically say the Fool, but it will give you a meaning that is similar to the Fool. For example, I'll just show you the card so that you know what I mean. So it talks about childlike curiosity, new adventures, you know, letting go of fear, that kind of thing, and it's got a reverse meaning too. But then it also talks about both the plant and the crystal, which is good. I like that. So I like the actual quality of information. I love the artwork. I just am not a fan of the actual quality of the cardstock. One more little issue I have with this is, so these are the majors. These are the suit of emotions, which are cups. You have to take my word on that because you can't tell by looking at the card. So the other thing is these have an extra card. So they have a 0 of cups, and then it goes to like the 1 of cups, the 2 of cups, the 3 of cups. And then when it gets to the number 10, so the 10 of cups, and then it has 11, which would be the page, 12, which would be the knight, 13, which would be the queen, 14, which would be the king. So you need that tarot understanding when you do go to use this deck. Having said that, I mean, that's totally fine. And even if you don't, the guidebook has the meanings there to help you. But my biggest issue is you can't tell by looking at these cards that these are the cups. The way they try and differentiate it is the color of the text here. However, the color of the text is not reflected in the guidebook either. So for example, if I go to find this one, so we've got the emotions cards. So if I go to find let's just do the three of cups, the 3 of emotions, which is page 53. So here we go. So then it talks about the typical 3 of cups meaning here, but nothing on here says that it's the 3 of cups. And even then, the text color is not the same. The text is just reflected in the crystal. So you can't actually tell by the guidebook what suit it is. It also does not state in the guidebook. I had to look this up on their Kickstarter page to actually figure out what suit was what, because I was looking at it going, I don't know which suit is what. Like, is this the cups? This color would make me think that this would be cups, but mine is air. So I do know some people have mentioned the idea of they might draw the elements on the actual cards themselves. However, because the cards are so glossy, I'm not sure that like permanent marker would actually stick on these. So that's also an issue. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that. Yeah, I also feel like just having like the element on there would really stand out, because like if you look at this, there isn't really a lot of black in this card or in this card. So I don't know. Yeah, so I like the concept of the deck. I just wish that maybe in the guidebook it actually stated what the suits were. Like even if just next to it said, you know, emotions, so is water and cups. Like that would be helpful rather than me having to look it up on their Kickstarter. So yeah, not a super long review. I'm not going to do a full flip through. There are other people on YouTube that have done that. I just wanted to kind of vent. I mean, look, the artwork is gorgeous. Like, yeah, artwork is just really, really gorgeous. I have no complaints with the actual artwork, just the cardstock. I mean, even the book I'm fine with. It's really just the execution of the production of this deck. So the cardstock, the box, Those are the things that I'm not a fan of. So, and look, I've never had to modify a deck where I chop the gilding off. I know that other people do. Look, I'm tempted, but it's also tricky because this is a borderless deck, so it's not like you've got any real wiggle room to actually chop off the edges. Like if you chop off the edges, you're going to be chopping off bits of the artwork, so that's the other tricky thing. I don't know. See, you can already see up here, I've got like a chunk out of the gilding. So yeah, it's this is why I don't like gilding. Why do creators have to put shiny gilding on their decks? Seriously, don't put gold gilding on your deck unless it's that nice matte gold gilding that stays on. Don't do gold shiny gilding. It's like it always comes off. It's more hassle than it's worth. Oh. So yeah, that was my little rant about the Telluric Tarot. Yeah, let me know, have you had any other decks that you've received from Kickstarter after a long time that you've just been really disappointed with? Because I'm feeling rather disappointed by this. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!